Hello, hello, hello. Hey, how's it going, everyone? Looks like everything's working out here. Um, what's up, Evan? What's up, Dimitri? Pudgy, how you doing? Pudgy, is that what the kids say? Blackball, lanky, stupid, sexy, lanky in the house. Nicholas, Nathan. Who else? Who else we got? Rick, Large, Patrick. What's up, Patrick? Nathan, thanks. Yeah, I had a. Oh wow, that's horrible focus. How long was that like that? I was reading the chat. Yeah, July, 1,000 mile month. So yeah, thanks. That's wild. I'm obviously feeling it with my sciatica, but still got it done. I think 3 years in a row now, July has been 1,000. I saw a memory on one of my apps the other day that showed me saying first 1,000 mile month, and I think that was 2 years ago. So I've done it 3 times now. But what is up, Raymond? Uh, Yeah, I know Lanky's talking about he got like intentionally buzzed super close by a car and was wondering if it's worthwhile filing a police report or not. Which, yeah, I don't know. I always think about that too when someone like intentionally does something stupid. It's like, man, should I get the GoPro and get their license plate or does it not even matter? I don't know. But like Lanky said, at least then you have them on record when they do hit someone or if they do it again. But Bodie Outdoors, what's up? Dimitri, Alpine Daydream, how's it going? JLS, Dylan, Cam, let me get this right. Camera T Dennis, Camera T Dennis, Waffles and Coffee, what's up? That's like what is that number you have there? Dimitri says that's like 100,000 kilometers. Yeah. What is it? What is 1,000 miles? I always go the other way. So, ah, that math isn't, the kilometer math is not going to happen in my head right now. So, what's up, Derpler? I'm like the Midwest Mr. Wildberry. Thanks. 2 million kilometers, Rick. Yeah, that's a good guess. Pudgy said about Lanky's thing, you would file the police report, so at least there's a notation. Yeah. Like I said, like after I got hit by that car, which I'm going to get back to actually in the stream tonight in the next video because some of the, I'll get to it in a minute, but I wish I had done something the next day, like filed a report. I didn't realize there's kind of cameras everywhere now and all that stuff. I kind of let it slip away, but I didn't think there was any chance anything could be done. But that was dumb. Should have filed a report, didn't do it. So, lesson learned, I would next time. And that was actually getting hit, so. But either way, so. Ah, gotcha. Camrat Dennis. Okay. Comrat? Or would it be comrade? Huh. Even if you told me it once, I'd still pronounce it wrong. That's kind of how I am. Pronounce everything wrong. So. Oh, it is. Oh, comrade. So it is comrade as in friend. Oh, and Dimitri coming through with the math on 1,000 miles. 1,600 kilometers. So. Our blackball must have actually calculated it 1609.3. So, yeah, I think I'll go with Dennis instead of Comrade. But, what's up, Big Nate? How you doing? You just got back from your latest trip too, huh? Hey, good evening, Bob Darrow. Why? Bob Darrow should have a icon next to his name, but I'm not. Why don't you? Because he's the latest channel member, which I appreciate. But I don't know why you should have what is the 1 month? The little black factory. Maybe it's just not showing up because my chat's in dark mode. So. Always trying to one on Blanky. Yeah, Blanky got buzzed. I got hit. Oh, man. Let's get some focus going on here. Don't know what's going on with that tonight. So. Oh, Dimitri, I log every ride on Strava. I just start my computer no matter what. Um, I don't really do anything under, man, I guess the shortest thing I ever do would be go downtown Cuyahoga Falls and back, which would still be 4-ish miles. But um, yeah, I guess that's the shortest ride I would get on my bike for. But yeah, I log everything. So that's 1,000 miles, including, when we were on tour, if we were running into town for dinner or to a store, it's really every mile I rode. So, oh, Dennis, yeah, you like some of my old school bikes? Yeah, I'm saying I haven't. Well, besides the Marin, the mountain bike, gravel bike, touring bike conversion thing, with my back, I haven't really been riding any of my road bikes. Even that Peugeot I built up over the winter. But Rick asked how it's doing. So actually, technically, my back feels fine. It's all the pain is sciatic, and it's in my hamstring. I know that all stems from the back. So uh, I would say not good. Like right now, I feel okay. I'm on Advil. It feels like a low level buzz in my hamstring, but the problem is I'll wake up in the middle of the night in pain and I can't sleep until I eat something and get more Advil in, unfortunately. So still kind of there. I felt like it was getting better over the weekend. I stayed at Aaron's on Saturday night and slept through the night just fine, and then Sunday didn't feel bad and rode, and felt fine, except just being tired in general on Sunday. But yeah, so I was hoping it was kind of on the upswing, but yep, it hurts again today. So hurt last night. Oh, Rick said the news. We were talking about these Sellers saddles, and someone was saying they kind of arrive softer than a new Brooks would, but Rick's saying they don't. Which, as I say, I I want to break it in myself anyways. I mean, that's what I think the benefit of leather tension saddles is that they break into you. So I don't think that's a bad thing, Rick. As long as it's comfortable enough for you to ride. If it's not comfortable enough to ride, then it's not a good thing. But I've said it a million times as we talk about Brooks, the B series, the C series. I don't mind the leather saddles when they're brand new. I think they only get better. But again, I bought the last one off someone who absolutely hated it. So, yep. Hey, what's up, Joshua? Blackball. It's probably been answered because I'm way down below on the stream. And I meant to add a command so when people ask about VGNO, I could have that robot just type what everything is. But kind of virtual guys' night out, but it could be virtual girls' night out, virtual whoever's night out. But it just comes from a joke on one of the first few streams about my dad seeing when we were on vacation. I was a kid. There was a gay bar in Rehoboth Beach called the Blue Moon, and my dad was like, this is the place to be because the balcony and everything was just full of people. And my cousin, who was a little older, he was like, every single person there is a dude. And my dad said, maybe it's guys' night out. And the joke is that's not really a thing at a bar. So it was more likely a gay bar. And Pudgy had made the joke that this channel is kind of like virtual guys' night out because at the time, the 5 of us who were chatting with each other were all dudes. So it's still kind of a sausage fest, to be honest, but that's where it comes from. So virtual guys' night out. But it also, though, it means that you've been a channel member. In this regard, though, it means you've been a channel member for a year. So it goes through a bunch of colors with the industrial gravel logo, and then it becomes VGNO after you've been a member for a year. So Alpine, I went down through Cuyahoga Falls for an art opening at Asterisks on Friday, and I saw all the stuff going on for Burning River, but I didn't really hang out. For those who don't know, it's an ultra marathon event, and it's hosted or finishes in downtown Cuyahoga Falls. Oh, Dennis, you have one bike, like a hybrid that you've modded for bike touring? Hey, that's all you need, as long as you got one. I can't. I just can't. I'm trying to stop buying bikes, but I just love tinkering on them in the winter. That's another thing. A couple people have asked, like, will there be any more bike build vids and stuff? That's all winter stuff. I don't, in the summer, it's all about maintaining the bikes that work. I want to spend my time out riding the bikes, not messing with them beyond the maintenance that they need. So, but there will be more tinkering and messing around with stuff and videos about the bikes I've already built. But that'll most likely be once the time change and all that kind of thing and the weather gets worse. Hillbilly Jeeper, West Virginia. Yeah, almost every single video in the description has the Strava route below it. So, yeah, every route I do, just click down below. There's once in a while where we're doing something that's a little more suspect and I don't post it, but that's rare. I think like 95% of my videos have the route we took below them. So, and I've always said to anyone, like, if you go on one of the routes where you could tell that I'm riding some gnarly looking stuff, like some weird looking abandoned stuff, it's at your own risk. I'm not condoning heading on any of the railroad companies hate you being on their access roads. So when we're doing that, it's definitely the railroad companies consider it trespassing, just so you know. But you know, it's going to be really hard to get caught. The cop has to catch you at the entrance or the exit pretty much. So on the CBD thing, Dimitri, we've talked about that a decent amount on the channel. I have like had some CBD drinks, and I actually have. I had a guy who brought all these bags of CBD buds over here to be photographed, and then just disappeared and never picked them up. So I even tried smoking them. Pudgy has said, and other people have said, that you need to be very consistent with CBD for it to actually work. So, yeah, I've never known if it would do me any good or not. I've never tried to stay on a consistent CBD thing. So I'm not opposed to it. I just haven't done it. Yeah, chat is flying, Dylan. That's why I didn't really make a plan for tonight. I figured that we'd probably have a chat that was kind of flying through here. A lot of new people on the channel because this last few weeks have just been really, there's been a ton of growth, so I figured we'd just do this. Speaking of that, and I'll still get through to the comments, but Pudgy had a cool idea, which I like, because we were doing kind of a deep dive into Tony's bike when I had the pictures up last week. So I was thinking of like maybe with the streams for the first 20 minutes or whatever, the timing doesn't really matter. Starting with channel members would obviously get priority on this, but having channel members on even virtually and having them drop some really good or drop decent photos of your bike. Pick one of your bikes, you know, for each time, and then we could do like a 20-minute, you know, you get to talk about your, you know, favorite bike or a new bike or something like that. I think that'd be kind of fun. We've done that, you know, live on the channel, but it'd be cool just to do that virtually as well. So whoever like channel members felt like doing it, you know, we could schedule that. I think I'll get that going maybe even for next Tuesday. And Pudgy, it was your idea if you wanted to do your bear claw, that'd be cool. So I'll DM you about that. But if you want to do a stream talking about your bear claw, then I was thinking the person, it'd be up to them. If they want to stay on and keep just like chatting, like with the comments and all that, we can do that. Or if they want to get off and just chill, no problem. But Pudgy came up with that idea, and I think it's a cool idea and kind of a cool benefit for channel members too. So, yeah. I'm glad you like the story, Blackball. That's the really short summary version, but yeah. Waffles and coffee. I have never. So I've had sciatica really bad twice before, and I went to chiropractors both times. And I'm intentionally not going this time for a while because I want to know if chiropractors were fixing my issue or if it's just time that was fixing my issue and the chiropractor wasn't really helping. So, because people have given me a lot of good advice on that video about my sciatica, and there's a number of things I'm willing to try, but mostly I believe it needs to be preventative maintenance. So I need to do the stuff to keep the sciatica from flaring up. Once it's here, from some of the stuff I've read, and there's differing opinions, is that in general, people, males in their 40s and 50s who develop it, that's where it's most common, I guess. 4 to 6 weeks, it heals up on its own. So I'm not saying I'm not doing anything. I'm trying to do some lateral motion. I'm trying to keep my back loose as possible because that's where it originates. And a couple people have recommended staying off the rougher stuff, which makes sense. Aaron and Ben rode Hampton yesterday, and I didn't ride the real climby stuff. I knew that would be too tough on it. But so I just want to see as kind of a control if in 4 to 6 weeks I'm better on my own and going to the chiropractors and stuff like that wasn't helping. So instead of throwing everything at it as miserable as it is, I kind of want to find out. And, so when it comes back, like, did the chiropractor make it heal faster? Did these certain stretches make it heal faster? So that's kind of what I'm going to try and do right now. So I know that's might sound kind of wild, but I mean, I even had dry needling done last time, and I'm like a needle phobe. Someone suggested that worked for them, but they said they did 25 sessions, and I'm like, I'm not saying it didn't work for them, but 25 sessions of acupuncture or dry needling, would your sciatica have gone away in that amount of time anyways? So, I also have top chat on, so I'm going to change this to live chat, so hopefully I don't lose anyone's comments when I do it, and I hope I'm not skipping anyone because tonight is really, my plan is just to, I have a couple things to say, but just to chat with the chat with the chat. Guys night out is such a dad thing to say. Yeah, blackball. It's just, classic. Post-maintenance stuff, slacker. Yeah, Rick. Blackball said, Tim's late night drunken wrench sessions kept you alive last winter. I think the last 2 winters, there's a lot of us, so I don't know what we would have been doing if we weren't able to chat about bikes for a couple times a week. There was just COVID in winter. There was just not a lot else going on. Blackball said CBD bath bomb. And Dimitri was saying tried the oils once or twice, tweet back, but wasn't doing it enough. Yeah, and I think Pudgy was saying he does his right. Don't you take a dose at it like a certain daily dose or something to keep the level in your system, right? Oh, here Pudgy already answered the question. So
D_Emil became a member.
Hey, thanks, man. I appreciate that. Awesome. Thanks, D. That really is what, and I always like to say this when we get a new channel member or just before I take the breaks. I've stopped putting advertisements on any of the live streams, just so people could jump in and out as they want, and that just so everyone knows, there's obviously zero pressure to become a member. You could just tune in and chat and have fun, but it's because of the members that I don't put any ads on the live stream. That I think it's like really cool that they're kind of supported in that way. So it makes it so we can do this, and it's not, you don't have to annoyingly watch an ad when someone we're chatting and you want to like click away and click back and you'd have to see an ad every time. So that's because of the members. So even if you don't want to be a member, you could thank them for that. See if I could catch up on the chat now. Oh, yeah, Pudgy, you were saying you're skeptical of the topical CBD. One other thing I have that does give me some relief that I don't know why I'm not using from when I used to go to I have a friend who, she doesn't do it anymore, but was doing massages, deep tissue massages, which was mostly temporary relief, but felt really good. I was limping in to her office to get a massage, and then I'd walk out like fluidly, and it would just give me some very temporary relief for the issues. But that icy hot or one of those BioFreeze, and I still have some of that, and I should be using that because that does help with a little bit of the relief. Probably a good thing to do before I went to bed, even. But Joshua, you said you've been commuting for the last year, and the biggest danger, aside from yourself, are the drivers. I think drivers are my biggest danger. I've been hit by cars twice. I think pretty much all my friends have been hit by cars, and any other wreck I've had has been something stupid. So, and not, and I haven't really been hurt that bad from non-car wrecks. So, but I still believe in getting out there. I do try and take more chill roads if I can, like instead of just bombing straight, like the intro to this where I go down Main Street. I almost never do that. There's arterial streets that I could take that mirror that, and even a couple with barely any stop signs. They're actually probably faster because I don't have to sit at traffic lights. But well, you see in the intro, I run them if no one's there. But whatever. But yeah, the lack of a good cycling culture yet outside of downtown Akron in a couple little districts where they've put in decent bike lanes, I think someone looking at their phone and coming up behind me could end up being the end of me. So. But it's not going to stop me. It's what I love doing, and I'm not going to only ride my bike where there's bike trails. I love riding the bike trails, and it's more fun because I don't have to be so aware of everything. But, even being up in Cleveland on last Thursday, me and Micah and Lars rode up there. I have a blast riding around a city, but Cleveland cars are a little not. I know there's people in here, D and a couple others that could talk about it more than I could, but I still feel like there's more awareness of bikes in Cleveland. There's more bikes out there, and there's always going to be bad drivers, but I feel like the more bikes that are out there, the more the drivers become used to them, and then the safer everybody is on the road. So, Dennis said yoga and heroin, and I'm all set. You know what's funny? I know you're joking about the heroin, Dennis, but and I said this in the video about my back, but I actually had the guy I bought this building from give me some Percocet when we were doing Ohio to Erie, and Percocet really has an effect on me in general. Like it really will, like if I've had pain in the past, it'll work. With this being nerve pain, the Percocet did nothing for the nerve pain. Like I would take a Percocet and drink a beer and I would be like so stoned, but I would still just be stoned in pain. So like I said, I know you're joking about the heroin, but I don't think it would actually help. So Rick, that's cool. That's a good suggestion too. And so I wasn't saying that I can't find time to stretch. It's just that the way my life is, I don't have any kind of routine, and I just don't. I need something that motivates me. And I think you're right. Doing the stretching and the yoga poses and stuff, and some of the lateral strengthening exercises and back strengthening exercises, I should just do them after every ride. Because you're right. I do have time after a ride. That's when I'm going to drink water, sit on the couch for a minute, put on a YouTube video, look at my Strava stats. That would be after every ride is when I should do it, because I can't say I'm going to do it at 9:00 every night. Tuesdays, and then, in the winter, Thursdays as well, I'm streaming. I'm out for random rides. I never know what time I have to get up in the morning, depending on what my photo shoot for the day might be. So, Dennis asks, what's the difference between live and Top Chat? I think Top Chat is an algorithm, so it might be not showing me everything. I don't think it affects too much. Oh, new subscriber, nice.
Jamie Clark subscribed to the channel.
I don't think it affects so much. Thanks, Jamie. Wow.
4#Lightning subscribed to the channel.
Thanks for #Lightning. Number 4 Lightning, I think it would be. But now I lost my train of thought. Totally lost it. Oh, well. Oh, live and Top Chat. Yeah, I just think Top Chat's an algorithm, but this channel's small enough that it's probably not that different. Live chat is showing every single chat as it comes through. Dev, what's up? He asked, what are a couple great bikes to look out for in the used market to turn into gravel bikes? All the rage right now is the 90s mountain bike, just because you have the tire clearance and the geometry isn't that crazy difference. So I think that is a good idea. I think going with some of the off-brands, not off-brands, but right now Specialized are just so trendy with their colors and stuff, so you're going to pay more for them, whereas I didn't pay very much for my Marin, even though it's one of the lightest bikes I've ever held, like really nice tubing, really nice build quality, made in the USA. So kind of cool for me where I live. But yeah, I would look for some of the 90s mountain bikes that are made out of nice tubing that aren't like the trendy thing right now. So, maybe they aren't going to be the bright 90s just colors. Look for one that's black or gray, that would be my advice. But you could also go the other, there's just good used gravel bikes out there now too. I still think modern gravel bikes are better than 90s mountain bikes turned into them. Uh, you know, some of the modern touches like disc brakes. Disc brakes are better. I mean, but you can make anything work. Raymond, no, I don't I don't even carry a wallet to be honest. But you're right. I've heard that too. That wallet in your back pocket and sitting on it could cause flare-ups. I just carry my cash folded around my cards, but it's almost always on my bike. So yeah, Pudgy. A lot of the Cleveland homies did jump into the Discord today, which is nice because for meeting up for rides and stuff, we could use that now that you know we have a couple, like we've said, groups of people that are kind of clustered in certain areas. But thanks, Steve, for sharing that. I appreciate it. It's fun because the more people we have in there, just the more good advice and the more someone wants to sell something or stuff like that. So. Oh, Lanky, you said you have a bunch of samples of BioFreeze. That's what I'm saying. I just need to use mine because I have it too as well. Oh, Dylan, you did one of those cryogenic freezes? Who did I watch do that? Some vlogger years ago. It might have even been Casey Neistat. I saw him do like one of those 2 minutes in the extremely. Or no, Bourdain did it on one of his episodes. I think it might have been Anthony Bourdain. It's been a while. Hey, what's up, William LeBron? Nicholas, you said it took you a while to get back on the bike after you got hit. Yeah, I've talked to a couple people like that. I think Big Nate, who's in here, when I met him when he was crossing through Ohio, was saying he took years off the bike after he got hit. I think he got hit and injured extremely badly. I got back on the bike the next day. I know at large after he healed up when he got hit by a car, he got back on the bike, but I would not fault anyone for being paranoid. I was looking around like crazy after I got hit for probably a month. So oh, Lanky, you said you felt safest riding around the streets of Chicago, talking about being safe on the streets. Yeah, I rode in Chicago. How many years ago was that? I mean, I only had my Trek mountain bike still then, so 12, 13, maybe even 15 years ago. And even back then, going through intersections with the way the bike lanes were marked, we were bombing around the city and having a blast that long ago. Dylan, you said you got over gravel riding because I saw a couple comments about dog attacks. There was one that there was a dog, and we were just talking about this over the weekend. A group of us at another a going away party for someone who worked at the coffee bar here in town, uh, Albert's Asterisk Coffee Bar. There was a dog that lived on a certain street that was a problem for everyone, but I haven't. I've only had problems with dogs in the city. Me and Large on our Wednesday night rides have had to outrun them a couple times. I've never had a problem with dogs out on the gravel, but Pudgy said the same thing, huh? Dimitri's on my end of the spectrum, only been chased by dogs on the road. Yeah, we were talking about that too, Lanky, when we were talking about riding on the up Silver Street here in Akron, where the dog always was, and we're saying you just got to ride with someone who's a little slower than you, and then you never have to worry. Oh, and Jay Dandy. Yeah, that's right. So another good bike to turn into a gravel bike like Jay Dandy has done, he had it on the live stream, is Gary Fisher. Yeah, you could do a really good job of that with hybrids too. Yeah, mid 90s hybrids make for a good gravel bike conversion. Just check the clearance, see if you could get the clearance you want. And the limiting factor is always well, usually is going to be the chain stays. So, oh, Blackball, you got chased for a while by a dog the other day on the trail, and he wouldn't give up. Yeah, usually in the city, I find the dogs aren't going to go that far. That's the luck I've had so far. But yeah, never got chased by a herd of kittens. Yeah, and on the 90s mountain bike conversion, bomb proof, but the geometry isn't that good for speed over long distances. Yeah, and some people, the smaller wheels, well, the way I ride mine, it doesn't really bother me, and I even ride it on the road, as I said in or is that today's video? Today's video. Doesn't really bother me, but I still feel faster on my Raleigh with its more modern gravel geometry and 700C wheels, 42 mil tires over the 26, 2.1s and the geometry of the bike, but of my 90s mountain bike. But that's not really an issue for me. I mean, I don't know. When I was riding to Cleveland with Michael last Thursday, I did ride my Raleigh and not my Marin, though, knowing that we'd be moving pretty good and had 70 miles to go. So, yeah. All depends on what you plan to do. Oh, wow, Dennis, you did a 1,700-kilometer tour? Nice. You said long haul trucker passing by you was bouncing on the knife's edge. Yeah, we've talked about it on this stream, but if you don't follow the YouTuber Terry Berenson, you should. But he just Twitch streamed his ride across the United States, and they were on a couple of sides of highways a few times where the trucks and some logging trucks were just bombing right by him, like in a terrifying way. A couple of the truckers like honked their horns at him, like how terrifying would that be? Just stupid stuff. Rick, you're fine tuning the new saddle. Yeah, when I first put a Brooks on a bike, I always make sure I have the right wrenches depending on what seat post I have to adjust them. Any leather saddle, I find like with each bike, I really have to adjust it. You guys were saying in the Discord that the saddles have saddles, however you pronounce it, have longer saddle rails, which would be nice. That is one of the weaknesses of the Brooks is you don't have as much, fore and aft adjustment with the shorter rails where they actually contact the seat clamps. But oh yeah, Pudgy, you've told me the story about the motorcycle gang chasing down the guy, the bus driver. We could have you, if we do the bike thing, we could have you talk about it. Dev, you said you have a Trek 750 multi track from 1990, but the max tire clearance is 700 by 40. Yeah, 40, depending on how gnarly you're riding, can be doable. Just depends on what kind of terrain you're hitting. You know, a lot of the gravel I ride around here, 40 would be fine on. But I think I had that. I think the Trek I had, my first like real bike was a 750 multi-track. I can't remember. It might have been an 850. Would have been a little later, mid 90s. That's the one that I've told people before. It got stolen when I was at college, unfortunately, and I replaced it with the Trek 4900 mountain bike, which I still ride. So, Yeah, is the 750 steel? I was wondering that about mine, and I thought it was steel, but I think my seven. It was, like I said, it was either a 750 or an 850, and I think it was steel. The bike I replaced it with, the 4900, is aluminum. So, but the mountain bike is a. It's still almost like a 90s mountain bike. It's definitely that kind of geometry, just the oversized aluminum tubes, 26-inch wheels. Patrick is an emoji master. That said, in general, in Sweden, the trucks give nice leeway. It's so hit or miss. It yeah, it really. Like I was talking about Terry when they did a stream with Dustin last night, Dustin Klein, if you follow him as a YouTuber, and they were saying like they could actually identify the different states and like how it seemed like people drove. So the 750 is double butted steel. Nice. I'm gonna Google one, see if I can find the one I used to have here in a minute. Dennis, you said it's not always about the clearance. What about the rims? Well, yeah. So the number printed on the tire, as another thing we've talked about, and a lot of people have talked about, doesn't necessarily mean anything. I had someone ask me like, if you don't have a good bike shop and you don't have a way to test it, how do you know what like you can fit? You don't. You really have to just try stuff because different rim and tire combinations measure differently. I actually bought a digital. Uh, Actually, Yonda recommended this, the mechanic at Dirty River, but I actually bought digital calipers. And so when I've been doing bike builds on the stream, we've been measuring the tires to see what they actually measure out to. When I took this early 80s Peugeot road bike and put some, what are the rims? They came off of Schwinn Paramount, the rims. But I actually put like 42 millimeter Rene Ayres tires on them. But since they were vintage road rims, I maybe one of you guys remembers it was a long time ago, but I think they were measuring at like 39 millimeters on those narrow rims. So, yeah, to find out what it's actually coming out at, you can measure. But beforehand, the rim tire combination, like that's one of the things right now too that people don't understand. When the pros like are sometimes on like the rougher stages now, the professional cyclists, they say they're running 28s. Like that still sounds kind of narrow, but they're riding these wide, deep section rims. And I'm guessing if you put a caliper on some of those tires, they're actually running 30s at like Paris-Roubaix and stuff like that. So, yeah, there's really no way to know without trying it. You have the rim and tire combination, and what the manufacturer decides the number is on the side doesn't really, it's going to give you an idea, but it's not going to be totally accurate. So, vintage rims are usually going to pull your tires much more narrow. More modern rims are usually going to probably, if you're getting a tubeless gravel tire and modern rims, it's probably going to be closer to the number that's printed on there. But if you're doing the neo retro vintage build, it's going to be trial and error. So hopefully you have a good local bike shop or some friends, or I actually saved some of my old tires over here, and so that's a good way to find out and test stuff. So. Hey, what's up? How would Sad Hughes 67? Tim, another Tim there, born in Cincy. Nice. Cruised around Cincinnati and had some fun. You're out in Arizona now. We have a couple Arizona guys listen. Oh, well, I guess one tonight, and because the other one moved back to Ohio already. Oh, Rick, you said RJ the bike guy just posted that he found a $20 700 multi-track at Goodwill. That's an awesome deal. Rick, you want me to give you a girth number with this? Oh, Dev, yeah, doing like the 650 conversion is a good idea. Just remember you have to get brakes that will reach the rims. that's the only issue with going with smaller wheels to get wider tires. I do that to almost all my vintage road bikes, my American ones that are 27-inch. Just that little drop down to 700C will give you that little extra bit. So like my Trek 500, it's an 82, and I could put 32s on that because I dropped the wheel size down. And one of the brakes had the adjustment and was able to reach the rims. The other one I actually just filed out a little bit and got the brakes to drop. I think Tektro makes long reach side caliper brakes. Side pull. Yeah, some Tektros will work a lot. I think Renair's, don't they have a deal that they makes? I don't know if they make them, but I know they sell them. You know, you could see compared to like the actual vintage brakes how much longer the Tektros are. But some Shimano 105s here. But and I guess if you're looking at, well, if you're looking at some of those multi-trucks, those are probably you could probably use cantilevers or those adjustable pawl clampers if they're not traditional side pull, and then it's even easier probably to make a conversion like that. But yeah, so on my Marin, I used Mayfac racer brakes that were from 700C tires, and they work with the 26-inch tires. So that's, yeah, if it has the posts for, what do you call the other brakes that you could put on cantilever posts? I always forget that name. V brakes. Yeah, V brakes. So. Oh, you're just saying how the tires might have a weird shape. I see what you're saying about the rim tire combo. Yeah. I know it's an issue to some people. I just mess around with everything. That Peugeot might have a squeezing those bigger tires onto it might be a little bit strange, but it works. I guess it depends on what you're going to ride it for, and if you're making it your ultimate bike, you do want stuff to work out right. What's up, Mono Lake? Oh, the commands aren't working? Let me check on that. Pudgy. Mono Lake said you find wide tires on skinny rims can be a little challenging for a heavier rider. The tire deforms when cornering and handling can be iffy. Gotcha. Yeah, that's probably some of those things I forget to think about because I'm probably about, I'm like 6'1", 180, so. Trying to find out why Stream Elements isn't doing his thing. Oh, Jay Dandy said Rivendell has a good 650B conversion guide. Nice. A drop pivot bolt for some brakes. Yeah. V brakes. There you guys are all coming through with the V brakes. Thanks, Sad. Yeah. No, I already know a couple. I know a couple other cyclists, Tim, who are around. So. Oh, Patrick, you think you're going to put canties on your MB3? Oh, good. The commands are back. I logged in, so maybe it just helped. Yeah. Logged into the website that puts the commands up. FYI, canties and fenders are a bad combo. Doesn't that probably just depends, right? Because I'm running fenders with cantilever brakes on my Marin with no problem. It probably just depends on the bike, but you should be able to move, and I mean it'll affect the braking depending on what you're doing, but where the brakes, are like this, you should be able to move that to make it so it clears the fenders depending on what you're trying to do, right? So if you lower it and make the angle go out wider, I mean, at some point you're going to mess with your braking. I'm not a cantilever expert by any means. Like I said on here, I installed them, but I took it Toad is to get him. The Dirty River Bicycle Works to get it done right. So, Pudgy not doing his job. Oh, Joshua, you took a horrible wreck on some Dewey Railroad tracks. Ah, horrible. Yeah, Rick has truck tires, not a problem for most. Yeah, that's what I was saying, Rick. If it cuts the braking power, that could be but large. Oh, Pudgy said if we have stupid wide canties. So yeah, like I said, I only have one set of cantilever brakes and then one set of V brakes, which is on my old Trek mountain bike. So uh, I'm just not the guy to give advice on that. But it sounds like people in the chat know way more than I do. So oh yeah, let's look at let's jump into some drink picks while I finally caught up on rambling. Oh, Nicholas has a Founders all day. I love that one as a summer beer. You know, still got the IPA flavor, but lower in alcohol. Large Marge has a lime feeling good Mexican style lager. I like these beers. I just think it's interesting that this is the last couple years a trend. Like almost every brewery has a Mexican style lager with lime. I just that I could say that's a beer trend that I would not have seen coming. But Lanky's drinking some Black Squirrel decaf from Bent Tree. Nice. I stopped and got a espresso at Bent Tree out in Kent probably 2 weeks ago on one of my solo rides. I obviously prefer Akron Coffee Roasters, but Bent Tree is the Kent option. So, Bent Tree was just in the news as well because they're moving their roasting operation. They have quite a roasting operation now. They roast in their cafe for what you buy in the cafe, but they have a full other spot to do like wholesale. Chris was drinking this last night. I don't think Chris is in the chat tonight, is he? But Knee Deep Brewing, double IPA. It sounds like he needed it because he had spent a day in the minivan with the whole family. And this is from our ride the other day, me large and Molinar at Magic City, one of my favorite breweries around. What were you drinking, Rick, the other day when you stopped? Haku vodka, Tang, and Sprite. That's quite the drink. I actually had myself a mixed drink the other day. Had a Manhattan. It's been a while since I've had just mostly a beer guy. I do like drinks, but oh yeah, and this was from Saturday's ride out at Hop and Frog. One of the best, another really good brewery. Their beers are so expensive that we buy them in 8 ounces, so that's what you're looking at there. Large has a couple 8 ounces in the background, and I had an 8 ounce. It was a Goza that had like 3 kinds of berries in it, but even that 8 ounce I think was just for the 8 ounce was like $6. But cool spot if you look like right here in the background, like way out there, blurry, but that was the Akron Air Dock where they actually built the dirigible, so it's kind of a cool little interesting spot. Weird like industrial spot looking over the airport and all that. Oh, and tonight I'm drinking one of my go-tos. I really like Masthead in Cleveland. See if I can get a focus on this. Nope. Oh, there we go. Masthead's IPA, just a solid beer. But oh, Nicholas, you said, speaking of railroad tracks, someone up in Cleveland lost a bike to a train this week. Yeah, he did. He leaned, from what I understand, so he's an acquaintance. I say friend. I mean, we like each other, but I haven't hung out with him that much, but we always get along. But he leaned his bike against a stopped train and was going to jump through and then I guess grab his bike and pull it over. And when he jumped through, the train started moving and he saved himself. If you're not following E on Instagram, you have to see this footage. It's crazy. I mean, it trashed this bike, and it was an all city with a carbon fork, Dura Ace group set, and brand new, I think. Large was telling me the rims were new, carbon wheels. So it just trashed an absolutely beautiful and very expensive bicycle. But I mean, the good thing is he's fine. But yeah, that was wild. That was absolutely wild. Yeah, I don't think he knew the bike was about to, or the train was about to move. Like he said, because in his caption he was like, "Hey, just so you know, trains don't always honk their horn when they're about to move. Lesson learned." But it's so horrible. I mean, the thing is just a. Is it? I've pulled up other Instagram. Is it like legit for me to show it, or? I mean, it's. Well, I guess I don't know if someone's account is private, so maybe I shouldn't. Um, I guess I could look and see if I could show without showing his name in case it is private. Oh, here's just an after shot, but he actually has a video of the thing being drugged down the tracks. So, ah, it's painful to look at. Yeah, his computer was smoking in the video and everything like that. His Garmin was actually like on fire.
Jacob Harris subscribed to the channel.
Thanks, Jacob. Jay Dandy, I like that. Every answer to a bicycle question starts with "it depends." Yeah. Well, I was talking about that even in the title because I heard Russ for the first time say all terrain bike, and I was also writing in the comments with someone right before I came live about that term, which another good term, but it's like the spectrum between cross bikes and mountain bikes is so wide that gravel bike doesn't cover it. I don't even think all road bike covers it. So you kind of just got to explain yourself. So then Patrick said the lime beer. On hot days, you'll squeeze 3 or 4 limes into a glass of ice, then pour a cheap lager. Refreshing. Yeah, nice. I mean, I friends always did that with Coronas. So I think doing the craft beer version is making a good version of that, right? Lanky, you said you were down in Amish country and the coffee place was serving bent tree. Nice. Actually, the guys who started that, or the one guy, um, there's 2 guys I think, but Ryan I know because he used to play in bands and stuff like that. So Pudgy, you're not into gozas? It depends. Depends on how salted they are, because basically,
Joshua Doss became a member.
wow, thanks Joshua, appreciate it. Also, I always say this too, and I forgot to say it when D did, but with the Discord, if you link Discord to YouTube, there's a member section in there. So I post the updates and the YouTube videos that are just for members. It's easier to find them on Discord than it is on YouTube. They're making it better, but there is a community and a member section. So if you look at my main page on YouTube, there is a member section you could click, and there's videos and posts in there that are just for members. So. Yeah, the gozas depend. They run the spectrum. The one I was having at Hop and Frog wasn't real salty, but I've had actually good, really salty ones. Kind of like that margarita idea. So Pudgy, you were telling me his account is public. Okay, yeah, you can buff that out. I should pull that back up while we're talking about it. This is also one of the ideas why I was saying having um, people on live to talk about their bikes. Because when I show them the comments, I'm so far behind, or I've already moved on the picture when we're looking at the crankset. So just to have someone trying to type in the comments isn't as cool. It'd be cool to actually have their face up there so they could be talking about it as the picture is appearing. And I've got a new way that since we've done the stuff in the past, that I think like the person who is live on the other end will be able to see the photos in real time without the YouTube delay. So going to try that out too. So yeah, Pudge, that would be probably good to try with you because we know each other well enough that you'll be understanding of me messing it all up if it doesn't work. So yeah, those are the oh yeah, there he has the bike laid out. Ah, it's horrible. Was the video only in stories? Oh, here it is. Yeah. That's the worst thing I've ever seen. At least he didn't get hurt. Like that's always going to be the thing, but it's awful. Awful. I think it was this a zigzag? I assume it was a zigzag because it was an all-city road bike, but that's what I thought it was. Oh, cool, Dennis. I'll pull. Yeah, we should look at bike pics next. So, my nose is squeaky. Yeah. Sorry, I do know that, and I am so not good at changing that part of my language. So, I try, but drinking a beer and live streaming makes it even harder for me to do it right. Never buy a bike you can't afford to have a train run over. Rick. Oh, that's awful. Come on. Oh, there's Dennis's bike loaded up. I'll pull this up here. Oh, yeah, that does look like a heavy, heavy load you got going on there. What's the bag you have sitting on your rack? Is that like a roll top waterproof bag there? Oh, Dimitri, you missed the story. He leaned the bike against the train, was going to jump through between the cars, and then the train started moving, and he saved himself instead of the bike. Brett H., what's up? Brett said, I've worked on bicycles and trains, and I think the train always wins when it comes to accidents. Yeah, for sure. Do not lean your bike up against the train. And it's interesting because Micah, genuine article on Instagram, the one who, designed this shirt and a bunch of our designs that we use on the channel, him and Otis from Dirty River, I guess, were about to consider doing something like that up in Conneaut last week, and we're like, nope, let's just go around. And that was the warning of, yeah, just go around. So Dennis said, well, he's alive and trains are nothing to mess with. Oh, and Dennis, as you said, it's an Ortlieb rack pack. Let me zoom in on that. Rack pack. Oh, this is something someone brought up to me here, your first aid kit on one of my, I think my gear list before we went on the Gap and CNO. They were like, I can't believe you don't carry a little first aid kit. And I think they're right. At least between the, four of us who usually go on tours together, it would probably make sense for at least one of us to have some first aid stuff. I don't think anyone does. I used to. When I always had a rack on my mountain bike, I always had a little first aid kit in there, and now I haven't for years. So probably a smart thing to do. The other suggestion that was really good is a water filter. we were getting the well water from the C&O trail at the campsites, and I didn't have any problem. But we ran into another guy who was filtering it, and it's probably just a good idea. But thing is, we're not out in the wilderness here in Ohio, so water filters aren't something I think of as much because there's usually a water fountain option, or last resort, I will buy a bottle of water, but I hate buying bottled water. I think it's the most wasteful thing you can do is buy single-use plastic from a electric refrigerated thing, but it's better than dying of dehydration. So I don't keep bottled water here at the house ever, so. Oh, Dennis, you're saying that's your first tour? Oh, scared me.
Peter Croce subscribed to the channel.
Thanks, Peter. Yeah, that bike's definitely beefed. But yeah, I think we all carry more on our first tour. I was talking about that in the video, that I brought a pair of jeans on our first long tour because we were going to have a night in Cincinnati, and I was still obsessed with always. I still don't go to the bar in shorts unless I'm riding my bike, but carrying jeans on a tour when it wasn't even cold just so I could go out and have jeans on is stupid. But yeah, a lot of stuff. I think learning to cut back on stuff is a big part of touring well. Hey, what's up, Bev? Bev the Darkness, you smashed your testicles falling off a cliff during a mountain bike ride today? You might need to get it removed? I hope this is a joke and not for real. Ah, that sounds awful. Hey, what's up, Gary? Gary asked about a bolt-on top tube bag less than 7 inches. Huh. I don't use any top tube bags, so I don't have any suggestions, but hopefully someone dropped something in there. Oh, Dennis, you said you really need the first aid kit because you're on blood thinners. Yeah. Oh, Pudgy suggested the Rogue Panda fuel tank. Yeah, Dimitri, I actually quickly climbed into 5K from that 3,500 number we were at, then just all my YouTube analytics look like the steady climb for 2 years, and then these last 2 weeks, a little bit of a takeoff. The CNO videos are popular and Gap videos, and then that 5 years of bike touring video is going to hit 40,000 views tonight, which is just crazy to me. Before those videos, an average video I was posting was getting 600 views. So the thought of 40,000 people clicking on one of my videos blows my mind. So. Oh, Patrick said as a short guy, he stopped looking for top tube bags at work. Yeah, there are. Fuzzy Stitchworks in Cleveland makes custom bags. I don't know if he does top tube, but. I don't. Yeah, it sounds dumb, and aesthetics aren't a huge thing to me. I just don't like top tube bags, like the way they look. But also, I feel like I would rub my knees on them. I've talked about this before. I can't even use feed bags on my bikes because I ride so far forward. So I'm also thinking, since I'm so forward, that my knees would also be coming over the top tube. So I don't think I would like them for that reason. But they're so convenient, to have some snacks right there. But oh, iodine tablets, Pudgy. Yeah, I've never used those either. Fitzwater spreading like the Rona. Oh yeah, I didn't even look at that, but I just looked at the viewer count for a live stream. 45 is already more than I think. Besides a couple of nights when we had guests, probably a peak right there. So too soon, Rick. Too soon. Thanks, Brett. I appreciate that. I think there's plenty of content out there and tons of good content about bikes on YouTube. I hope there's like a niche here that makes sense that people enjoy. That, like I said, one of the big things to me is that there's nothing wrong with super spendy, fancy stuff. It's awesome. But one of my things is that doesn't need to be a limiting factor. It's one thing I always want to keep making videos about. It's like, yeah, cool bikes are awesome. I look at them. I look at the pictures. I envy really, really cool, expensive bikes. I like the nice group sets. But there's always going to be plenty of reviews of that. It's like converting an old bike into something and all that kind of stuff, I think is, or you have limited funds. You know, how do you make it work with what your budget is? So, yeah, thanks. Oh, speaking of stream, it is break time. Oh, by the way, so I started to make the new members video. So for those of you who are new, at about 10 o'clock, I have a video that thanks the members, channel members. It's one of the member perks. And I needed to update it. One, I wanted to update the video in the background, but also since we have new channel members. But when I saw we got 2 new ones last week and we have 2 new ones tonight, I didn't finish it. So I don't have the new members video up, but for next week we will. So I promise, as I've been saying for a couple weeks, but yeah. Bev has a whole new meaning to top 2 bag. Oh my God. Yeah.
David Yang subscribed to the channel.
Thanks, David. Yeah, Dennis, you said on your first tour you brought. Oh.
Alberto Garcia subscribed to the channel.
I might actually have to turn the volume off on that if it keeps going the way it's been the last few weeks. So.
Gary Parr subscribed to the channel.
Oh yeah, that's another thing for anyone who's new here. We started this rule because someone commented and asked if they could watch the live streams at work, and this was like during lockdown in 2020 in the winter when basically I was just getting trashed on the streams and like rambling, me and Pudgy chatting and whatever. And I said, yeah, I usually don't cuss till about 10 o'clock because I don't know what happens after 10 o'clock. So we've stuck to the rule of no swear words in the chat till 10 o'clock. So everyone knows. Yeah, Dennis, I think it's always nice to have a little extra room in your bags on tour. Like one thing I always recommend is bringing some kind of foldable bag or musette or something, even if you're just trying to get some beer or food or whatever back to your campsite. But oh, thanks, Joshua. I truly appreciate that. Yeah, not an ad for anyone. Some company, though, is sending me a new headlight that looked good. So I get like, for at least a year and a half or 2 years, like a lot of Chinese Amazon companies reach out to me and they just have trash products. And I took a couple right early on. And then I realized that's stupid. I'm not going to review stuff I'm not going to talk about something that I know none of you would use and I would never use. But one company is sending me a headlight that looks legitimate. So they're not paying me. And they said I could say whatever I want, which would always be one of my conditions. But it just so happens my Night Rider headlight died 2 weeks ago. I still have another one. I always have a backup. But so we'll see if it's any good. Hopefully it is. I said it looked like it was quality, and it's a $90 product. So, but yeah, I'm not actually taking money from anyone is not in the cards. But
of Genius 1970 subscribed to the channel.
You said Magic Shine, Dylan. Let me look it up. I can't remember what the name of the company is. It's actually Olight. Let's see. I'll show it to you. Let's see if I can find the link. Yeah, 1500 lumen, so maybe it's decent, maybe it's not. Come on. One of the things, though, even if I ever review anything or talk about anything in any of the videos, I'm always still also going to recommend going to your local bike shop first and buying what they have. That's my feeling. What I've learned from doing this, though, in the chats and the comments, Rick's comment coming through.
Rick Urbanovsky super chatted $1.99. Taint balls teety twat.
Thanks, Rick. Oh, you guys are saying the Magic Shine lights are decent. So it is Magic Shine and Olight is the same thing. Interesting. Oh, yeah, that's what I was going to say. I'm always going to recommend, if your local bike shop carries Night Rider lights, go get those. And I'm always going to preface anything. But that's what I was saying. I've learned that a lot of people don't have a trusted bike shop where they live, or they have like a full-on roadie bike shop and they're not roadies. And then some of the women I've chatted with on the channel go into bike shops where they just feel like they're getting mansplained and treated like shit, so they don't go to their local bike shop. I just realized how lucky we are around here, Cleveland guys and Akron guys. Well, in Columbus too, the cities I know the best. Here in Akron, I'm in the Falls, but right on the border. I have a shop that's kind of old school and more commuting oriented, just a few blocks down the street. Dirty River, where I always go and helps out with the channel, is where Large works. And then there's a couple other good, decent shops in just Akron, a smaller city. And Cleveland, obviously, we got Joy Machines, which is my preferred shop when I'm up that way. But there's other good shops in Cleveland, like Beat Cycles and stuff like that. But, yeah, I realize that that's not an option for everyone. So if someone from Amazon sends me something that's actual quality, I will bring it up. But like I said, it'll also be in the context of a broader video. I'm not doing a 10-minute video on a single headlight. So, it could just be in like a vlog style thing that has like a broader range of stuff going on. So, oh, Joshua said, "Oh, light or quality lights." Cool. Yeah. Yeah, they gave me no requirements in the email. So they're like, bring it up in your video and drop a link with a discount in the description. I'm like, yeah, I'll do that. But if anyone wants to pay me or they say I have to say something nice, it's like, yeah, no thanks. Especially then those are usually the cheap ones. They want me to say something nice, and it's like, I could tell by this picture this is garbage. So, yeah. Dimitri, you said you don't really have a local shop and you feel weird going in and talking with people. That's another thing. I have friends who just don't like going in and talking to people in person. So, see ya, Nicholas. Have a good night. Magic Shine is kind of like the Paneracer Giant of Lights. Huh. I wonder if they're just really trying to grow then. I mean, if their stuff's quality, I almost feel like this channel's too small for them to be sending it to, right? I don't know. I can test if that light can stand a train rollover. All right, let's do a quick break. I'm going to just play the old members video. Sorry to the newer members that I don't have you on here yet, but I said next week we will. Also, while I'm thinking of that, I don't think there'll be a stream on Thursday. We are filming episode 4 of the Gravel Badass series I'm doing. Again, if you're new around here, it's an interview series that Dirty River is sponsoring, and I think it's going to be really cool. It's basically Erin, my girlfriend, is riding bikes next to another person. We have it mic'd up with really good audio, and they're basically having a conversation about how they got into cycling. And the goal is to use interesting people who, might not have the most normal story, or not normal, but just, I don't know, have an interesting story of how they got into bikes. And it's all about bikes being accessible and that kind of stuff. So, yeah, all the conversations have gone good. We got 3 of them done. Yeah, doing the 4th one on Thursday, the 5th one next Tuesday. Need to schedule the 6th one. That'll be season 1 of the whole series. And then just talked to Otis at Dirty River today. I think we're going to do a party, like a premiere party for the first episode. So we'll play it at the shop. We'll have some beer and then go for a bike ride. But if you're not in town, I'm going to put it on YouTube as a premiere at the exact same time. So we'll all still be able to chat whether you're able to make it or not. Don't have the date set yet. I'll keep you all posted on that, of course, in the Discord and the meetup section. So, yeah, some cool stuff. I'm really excited to get these out. The 3 we've recorded so far are great conversations, and I think everyone's going to really like them. They're about 20 minutes. So, yeah, fun stuff. But, all right. Yeah, let's take a quick break because I've got to take a leak, and then we'll be right back. I don't think I'm going to stay on too long after I get back because standing here is starting to... I need to eat something and probably take some Advil before I go to bed again. But, yeah. All right. I'd like to take a moment to thank the channel members. They're the ones who make it possible to invest this much time into YouTube and also to buy the gear that makes it possible to run this channel. So thanks to them. If you're interested in supporting the channel, there's a link to that down below. One more thing, if you feel like it, stop by the gear shop, which is also listed below. You could get some cool bandanas, stickers, shirts, swag, whatever. And now you can get back to your beloved Tuna Boat song. We will be back in one moment. Yeah, Dylan, that'd be awesome if you came up. Like I said, I should plan that premiere party for a day where I know I have the next day free. So if anyone is around, we could then do something more adventurous. I think that, if we do it on a Friday night, it'd probably be like a chill ride after. But then, yeah, maybe that Saturday do something more fun, but longer, you know. Oh yeah, I was talking about the today I went to the shop and my cranks on the Raleigh, I've already replaced one. So this is when I got hit by the car. Like the pedal hit the car's tire. And so I just got new pedals back. So I'll have a video about this tomorrow, but got to thank Dirty River for getting me a new set of DoD blade runners. But unfortunately, my whole crankset is bent, and I had bought a replacement crank arm. And of course, I have one side, but they wouldn't sell the other side. So now um, I'll list this in the Discord, but I have a 105, non-drive side 175, that I can't really do anything with. So there's got to be someone out there who just needs that part, maybe. But yeah, so I have a whole new crankset coming for the Raleigh. It's kind of annoying because it's black. I like my silver one. And then I also did order the Grautex from Velo Orange. So gonna have new brakes on there, new crankset. I'm ready to put that cassette that Pudgy gave me, or I bought, 11 to 34 on there, a new chain. So I think I might actually change out the stem and maybe even the bars. So pretty much the Raleigh's only original parts will be the frame and the headset because I've got that different fork on there and everything. But yeah, ready to put that bike. That bike I've put, I think, 15,000 miles on it. So it's just ready for its next iteration to keep it going. But that is my most daily driver, and I ride it as everything from an endurance road bike to a light mountain bike. So yeah, who sells just one side? They were able to find the one side when I needed it. So, oh yeah, Pudgy, I totally forgot about you telling me you had STI levers as well. What joke? I missed a joke. So, yeah, what did you had? What did you have? I can't even remember. I meant to look it up. I saw you make that comment in the Discord. But did you have Ultegra 11-speed levers? Oh, Dylan said I'm going to go over the bars of the first brake pull on those Grautex. Yeah. So like, large fixed up my spires. At least they just loosen right back up because they're so worn out. But and even that, like my right before he put new pads on the front ones and adjusted the rear ones for me. But even getting on that and riding and like, oh yeah, I could lock up my rear tire again, but they'll loosen right back up. So I could only imagine what the Grautex are going to be like. So Brett said, okay, I've worked on bicycle trains and tuna boats. This is getting weird. Oh, you have Ultegra levers, Pudgy? RS 8000s? Yeah. Yeah, I would want those. That would be cool to put on there for sure. What are these? Oh, these are 5700 crank arms. What was the one I broke? They're different. These are two different series of 105. 11. One's a 7000 series and one's a 5700. Hey, Dennis, I saw it on my phone that I just got an order. I'm assuming it's from you, so I appreciate it. An order for some swag. So, yeah, weird is exactly what we do here, Jay Dandy. Oh, Dylan, you actually downsized your rotor because the Grautex were so powerful. Interesting. I still think, Dylan, we should make a collab video for the review of the Grautex, just because I don't have a good enough frame of reference to review, and I bought them with my own money, so, but I don't have a good enough frame of reference to review mechanical disc brakes because I've only had beat up TRP Spires. So, you know, I could say how much better they are than those, but they should be, right? So. Was you, Dennis? Thanks. Yeah, I got the. I just got a PayPal notification from the app on my phone. So. Oh, you picked up one of the bandanas. Yeah. So, Micah, who I was talking about, Genuine Article, designed them. So. I actually don't have any caps. Talk to caps, not hats, Brett. But I did, and I kind of let it slip through the cracks. Party Size talked about doing doing some caps, so we could get the price down by doing it together. But I have yet to ever, just haven't had the time. But I would like to. I would like to have some caps for sale. I haven't decided what it would be. If it would be something of this design or what, but now you could rob banks like the good old days. You know, I've talked about this before, I think, but I got in the habit of wearing the bandanas when I was a farmer because we still had open air tractors. And when you're out, if you were doing field work in the dust, or if you're pouring seeds that had all that fungicide on it, you always wanted to be able to have something to pull up real quick. And then if we had to hand pick, we would soak them in water and put them around our neck. And I still do that when we're on bike tours. But then when COVID became a thing, I liked wearing it over the medical mask because I think it felt like it looked more normal to me. But Pudgy, you said you were between the clampers and Grautex, but finally got some GRX to not be stupid overpriced. Oh yeah, yeah, and I think if I was buying a Shimano GRX group set, I would go full on GRX too. But yeah, Dylan, let's just meet up and do a video for sure. I was thinking about that in general, Dylan. I think we could do some cool stuff together, whether it's about, uh, you know, a specific thing or not, you know. And Dylan, I'm sure you're 10 times the editor I am. Wait, as you should be, because it's your job. So. Oh yeah, this cap. This is just a faded EF cap. EF is one of the professional teams. So, yeah. Which way do I need to turn my head? Cannondale sponsored. Do they have anything on the other side? Oh, POC and New Balance. I don't know if they're still sponsored by New Balance, but this one's like 4 years old though. So it's like the 4-year-old version. Oh, Pudgy. You said Dylan also weighs $120 after a vegan buffet. Nathan, you said you'd buy a Grav cap? Yeah. I think if we did caps, well, I guess I should really hit up Party Size about it, but they would be cool, so. All caps. Dude, Dennis, those Swift Femmes caps from the tour, every time they posted one on Instagram, someone wearing them, I saw someone else comment, like, where can we get these? And I was doing the same thing. And even, like, they had them out, like, 2 months ago. And Francis Cade did a video where he had one of those Tour de France Femmes caps. And then I just watched, actually, I was sitting icing my back before the stream. Katie Kookaburra, whatever, she got a ride, La Planche de Belfi. And she had one on in that video, and they're not selling them. They always comment, like, we're not selling them at this time. And it's like, sell us those damn caps. They're the coolest caps. Like the colors are awesome, and I love that they say "Watch the Femmes." And and I was someone who was huge into the. I just that they finally made a women's tour, and I I like women's cycling just as much as the men's cycling. So glad there's a women's Paris-Roubaix now. So yeah, I wish they would just sell us those caps. They're so cool. I actually just checked eBay again today to see if anyone has listed them, but nobody has listed them. I haven't been able to find one anywhere. So I should pull up a photo for, I don't see if I could find one just by Googling it. I was trying to debate in my mind how much I would pay for one of those caps, like if I did find it on eBay, because I really, really want one. Yeah, I'm just getting so much Tour de France stuff, I can't find it. If anyone has a line on one, drop it in the Discord. But yeah, I'm just getting Tour de France. Maybe if I type in Avec Zwift. And maybe if I spell things right. Nah, still a bunch of BS. I don't want to play someone else's YouTube and get like some copyright violation though. That's where I know I could find them. Oh well. Out of focus again anyways. Oh yeah, we should look at some bike pics before I forget, because I saw that Peter dropped a photo of his pretty cool hard rock in the Discord. Comfortable, fast, reliable. Oh wow, you did a he did a disc brake conversion on here. Oh, he has a fork, a more modern fork. Is that a Surly fork that he has on there? Look at all those mounts. Be interested in how you did it in the rear. I know people do it, but sorry, I totally started ignoring the chat when I go on my tangent about those Tour de France Femmes Avec Swift caps. I love them. I just really think they're so cool. Yeah, Katie Kookaburra's videos. The one where Annemiek van Vleuten, stops right there after winning the Tour de France and she just happens to be there. She was crying. I started crying. So little bicycle hats. Caps, not hats. Yeah, I know. I think they're selling the kit too. Pudgy, you said it's unfortunate they're not selling the caps. I think they're selling the kit, so why not sell the caps? That's what I want. I don't want kit. I'm not gonna ever wear something that's so tight. But
Dan Licken subscribed to the channel. Armand Navarro subscribed to the channel.
this is just wild, guys. This is just wild. Dennis, you said you thought about actually taking a last-minute plane to France and try your luck a few days ago. If I was close, if I was in Europe, it would be so hard for me not to go to so many bike races because I just love the atmosphere. I've only been to one pro bike race, Paris-Roubaix, but Blackball, you said you're a cycling cap whore. I think out of everybody I know, Large is probably the most cap guy. I get the EF one every single year. The reason I'm looking over here is I have a wall behind me with the caps. I didn't hook up my GoPro tonight, did I? No. I've been using that as a second camera so I could show you guys what I'm looking at. But I have a decent amount, but not crazy. Yeah, I did. Someone asked if I got the change up cap. I did. Where was it? Oh, Holler Dollar. I was said I might have to
Andrew
turn the
Yates
audio off on this,
subscribed to the channel.
but I appreciate it. Hollered out. So they for the new the tour, they didn't make a policy CF cap. So all that stuff they had, I had to work. So my girlfriend was watching. She was in the waiting room online to go and be able to buy some of the EF Palace stuff because I told her, I'm like, you won't lose your money on it. It'll just go up about. There were no caps, so I was super bummed about that because that's what she was in there for. She was going to get a couple caps and they didn't have any. So Hollywood Tim Fitzwater reporting. Hey, what's up, Chris? I wear them under helmets, Dimitri. I always wear a cap. Yeah. I wear my caps on. I just always wear a cap. I go to my photo gigs, not with like one that looks like this anymore, but I actually have my dress cycling caps that I wear to my photo gigs. Like I just have a black one with the world champ stripes, and yeah, I I always wear. It's rare for me not to have a cycling cap on, whether I'm riding or not. So. Oh, Dennis, to go out and document it. Yeah. And check it out, Dennis, too. Like with a lot of bike races, they have like a fondo the day before. So like Tour of Flanders, for instance, like you can go and ride the route at various amounts of mileage the day before the actual race. And it's not an act, and you can just ride it. It's not a race. It's a fondo style, if people know what fondos are. Oh, someone was saying that her Instagram might have it. I don't think I follow Katie on Instagram, but I bet it would come up. Oh yeah, Katie Kookaburra. Ah, she doesn't have a picture of herself in the cap. Unless she has it in her stories. No, no stories. I guess I could. Uh, Maybe Zwift has someone wearing one on their accounts. So. This is a slideshow. It's too fast. The thumbnail has Kasia Nuladoma wearing one, but you can't. It flashes by in like one split second. Oh, here's what the bottom of the peak looks like. Not that that helps very much, but you can kind of see the colors over here. They're so sweet. The colors just came out great. But oh, Chris, you said it's not a fashion piece. For me, it's always yeah, it's always. Tim thinks he's special. Oh, Blackball, you're saying you only wear yours post ride, never during the ride. Keep it clean like a trophy. I definitely have ones that I wear when I know I'm going to get really sweaty and stuff like that, and other ones that I do. Like Lanky got me one of the EF change up ones from the Giro last year, and I don't think I've ever worn that one on a ride. Good limited edition and stuff like that. But yeah, it's really cool, and I don't wear it on rides. But I always do wear something like this, or like my map I had, or one that I don't mind having it fade. So just get someone who speaks French to call France. That one thing I thought was kind of funny about the name, or even those hats. Watch the Femmes is it's already a combination between English and French. I know we say Spanglish. Is that Franglish? But what it should be regarde les femmes would be the actual correct French, I believe. I can't remember if regarde is look though and not watch. There's two, just like how we have two words for look or more than that, but I think it's regarde les femmes would be the actual French. But and for those who don't know, I think everyone probably figured it out. But avec Zwift is with. Avec is with in French, but. Caps, Dimitri. It's called Caps. Who did you say you think has one? Oh, the top banner. Wait, where you telling me to look, Dimitri? I missed your comment. No results on Instagram. Just typing in "watch the femmes," which, how stupid is that? Yeah, most caps are just cotton. You could wash them. I usually hand wash my caps in the sink. I'll just use I'll even hand wash my caps with dish soap. But oh, someone dropped a post in the Discord. Gotcha. Oh, there we go. Yeah, those colors are just so great. My favorite rider too, Cassia Nuladoma. Pudgy, just a second too
Pudgy
late.
Bedel Pusher Super Chatted $1.99. Check the Discord, you pinecone.
Oh, like 25 people told me there's a post in the Discord with the caps on there. Oh, Blackball, you said you wear caps all the time. You just have one specifically for post ride. It's complicated. I hear you. Brett H, you have an original 7-Eleven cap? Oh, after they passed you on the road in San Diego back in the day? That's awesome. Most of those old ones you can get Italian made reproductions, so they're not like garbage or anything, but it's cool to have an original one for sure. Hey, what's up, Grand Subject? You would need a size small cap. Yeah, certain brands make them in different sizes. Rafa, who makes EF caps, they don't sell them size wise. Walls caps, I believe they do a small, medium, and then a large. Small, medium being one size for some reason. Yeah, it just depends on the brands. I'm like looking at my cap wall now, thinking of who made the ones Party Size made for his first run. That brand, is that Bello? I believe they do multiple sizes too. If Lanky's still here, I think he would know because he just ordered one. And then the other photo you guys dropped. Pudgy dropped. Brett, those 7-Eleven team bikes, I think, are still, out of all like the paint schemes I've seen on any pro bike, are my favorite bikes of like all time. I just love the way those look. And they were Eddie Merckx bikes the one year. So, oh yeah, we've talked about this before. They were Sirota bikes one year, even though they say Huffy and Murray on them, and they were Eddie Merckx bikes the next year. What's all these pictures with non-DSO? Come on, guys. Yeah. Just so cool looking. Oh, these are the Mercs with the chromed out seat and chain stays.
Sec 258 subscribed to the channel.
Oh, Lanky, you have a white man can't jump Colnago cap. Yeah. Do you remember, like, depends on how old you are in the chat, but like cycling caps were trendy there for a couple years. What was that, late 80s, early 90s? What year did White Man Can't Jump come out? But yeah, even bike shorts were too, which was a weird trend, but which is kind of coming back in a way, but the cap thing hasn't really come back to the mainstream like it was there for a while. Non-DSO shows the brake rotors better, Chris. Yeah, you're guessing 91, 92. I would agree with that. Yeah. Oh, you guys found even more of the cap pictures. Yeah. Oh, yeah, there's Katie wearing hers after they did their ride. They look really good with the Canyon SRAM kit because they almost match it. Come on, let's still focus here, camera. Oh, Dennis, have a good night. Yeah, we'll see you in the comment section. Hopefully next week on Tuesday if you can make it. Hey, what's up, Reliable Waste? You said brim pulled down for night commuting is a nice option. Don't you love it when cars put their high beams on when they approach? Yeah, that's the worst thing. Yeah. Oh, Patrick, you had a 1984 Olympic cycling cap when the flame went through Santa Barbara, but you lost it. Oh, too bad. Good night, Dimitri. How you doing without the Terry B Twitch streams? It's feeling lonely out there, right? A month long of the Tour de France, with the men's being 3 weeks and the women's being 1 week, and then 2 months of Terry B live streaming. Like in the morning when I'm working, it feels like, where did all my friends go? You know. See you, Lanky. I think I'm not far behind everyone's 10:49. So, yeah. Oh, you're on vacation, Dennis. So, Dennis, in the winter, after the time change, I've been trying to do some Friday afternoon streams as well, and it's been fun because it's made it so people in different time zones are able to jump on. So, it won't happen with this time of year in the summer when the weather's nice, but I do want to do more of that over the winter, like do streams at kind of some random times, so we get people who these times don't work for in there. I want to always do the Tuesday if I can. In the winter, usually Tuesday and Thursday, but then, pull off some random time stream so we get a chat with some new people. But Nathan said, "Why would you not sell that cap? The promoters of cycling world need to talk to American sport promoters." Yeah, who? Well, Is Zwift an American company? I actually don't know the answer to that, but I actually think Zwift is American, right? And that's who makes the cap. I mean, that's who had the caps made. That's the title sponsor. So. Abort. Caps, not crabs. That is a hashtag, Brett. Caps, not hats. And anytime in my group anyone accidentally says hats, which is very common, everyone corrects them. It's usually Large Marge is the one correcting first. But someone will be like, oh, yeah, I got this new hat. Or where did I set my cap? Or my hat. And someone is always like, oh, you mean your cap? But first time I heard it was actually I tagged the woman who made the Paris-Roubaix cap I have, who lives in Roubaix, in a picture of me and Aaron wearing our Roubaix caps. And what's the name of her company? Velo. Not going to remember right now. But she actually wrote, oh, thanks. And then she hashtagged caps, not hats. So maps, not crabs. Yeah, peak up, peak down. Yeah, it's not brim in cycling cap, it's peak. That's the English term, though, like Great Britain English. They say peak up, peak down. I don't hear peak as much outside of like the, British English, but brain bag. Caps, not hats, no shats on maps. Oh, man. Let me close some of these tabs. Chris says peak up after the ride. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I'm pretty much at night. At night, if it's not buggy, I'll put the peak up. Sometimes if I forget like clear glasses, like if I'm on the bike trails, I'll actually kind of ride like this to try and keep some of the bugs out of my eyes. But yeah, let's wind it down. I really do need to chill out. Do we have a J Dandy command? I can't remember. I was working on making a command for all the members. I got about, I think, quarter of the way through them last week, but hopefully another thing that I could get finished up. Yeah, where was I going with that before I read that comment? That's why I need to get off the stream. I can't keep my thoughts together. Oh, Chris, you said you wear safety glasses at night? Yeah, I started wearing safety glasses in the winter because the cold air would dry my eyes out so bad. And now I wear it in the summer at night for the bug reason. I actually have some clear gooders that were Funny Brads that Large Marge found in the woods where he lost them, and I've been wearing those since he already replaced them. So, yeah, Stream Elements has been off and on. Our robot tonight is real iffy. So I don't know why it's like going in and going out. It's never been an issue before, but you got photos to deliver before midnight, Rick? Which one of your clients are up at midnight? Yeah, Mr. Sprinkles. Snowboard goggles for winter. Yeah, Otis wears snowboard goggles sometimes in the winter. I get by with just the glasses, but yeah, they definitely work. Shooting yellow glasses. Yeah. All right. Yeah, let's wrap it up. Wherever I'm going with my rambles. It's almost 11, but all right. Yeah. So I think I shot a video today. Not edited at all, so that'll probably come out on Thursday. Like I said, probably no stream on Thursday night because we're going to be filming one of the videos in the interview series. But next Tuesday's looking good, and then the week after that, I'm going to be in Detroit. Just like when I went to, so I'm doing the same gig like when I streamed from, where was that, Charlotte. I'm going to bring my stuff, but being that it's summer, I probably won't stream out in the evenings. I'm going to bring a bike, so I'll probably be out riding. So probably won't stream in 2 weeks, but I'm going to try and get videos lined up to have stuff coming out during that period anyways. Keep this momentum rolling. Like I said, I'm just kind of amazed at our little channel getting some attention lately. It's been a lot of fun. So yeah, that's it for now. And that's it for now. Whoops. And that was the wrong video, so we're back. Where's the outro? All right. Now, goodbye for real. I can't find the button. There it is.
Okay, bye.
All right.
Okay,
Yeah.
this time.
Fitzwater photo.